Right, there we go. So, over to Nite Team 4.
We're into the story mode, into a campaign mode. I don't remember exactly where we left off, but we were... Oh, there was some guy who got a USB drive full of malware that belonged to our agency, and we had managed to work out where he was and what businesses he was associated with. I'm trying to work this out. Here we go, bunch of reports. That's interesting. No, it's not what I'm after. Credentials. Me, Cash, Admin, George Hirsch. Well, there we go. Right, straight into... I don't think I've logged into this yet. I must have gotten a... Oh, Hookshot Games, HR. Yeah, so there was some HR software that was being used on a whole bunch of servers that it turned out was a malware endpoint for botnet nodes. So that might be where we left off. Confirm that our target was involved with at least one other company. Here's where leaving a mission halfway through is probably not a good idea. Maybe we can go back and do the brief again. Where's Sergeant Wheeler's briefing? Here we go.
Thanks to your quick work, we have a much stronger understanding of this complex network. The forensics team mapped out key assets from the intel you've gathered so far, and we've identified at least 4 compromised ERPs, all connected by someone in the last couple
Interesting.
of months. At this stage, the identity of this individual is still unclear. They could be Dr. Ripper or an associate. We still don't know the direct link between them, the compromised ERPs, and the botnet. Agent Patricia Conway from our network intrusion team dug a little further to help you out. She tracked down the network administrator from Hookshot Games and had an Onagru trace his activities for the last week. Your mission objectives are: infiltrate Hookshot Games and gain access to their HR database. Track down the mystery individual and find their role at Hookshot Games.
Right, and I think we have that role.
With at least
one other compromised company.
Continue your search until hard evidence of our target's identity and role is found.
Okay, cool. So we've done 50% of that because, credentials-wise, we know that George Hirsch, we believe we know that George Hirsch he works as an admin at Hookshot Games. Yeah, there you go. We got into his phone and worked out roughly what he's up to. We need to work out his involvement with another company. All of his contacts are Hookshot Games, aren't they? So that's no good. Notes. Oh no, hang on. George Hirsch was he just the guy that we got? Oh mate. Wish we could see our completed objectives. That would be handy, wouldn't it? Maybe we can. Infiltrate, cross-reference, no, yeah, okay. Cross-reference cab reports, track down the identity of our target. Alright, what were the cab reports then? Let's go check those out. Kruger client transaction. No. Concierge business card, catcher, mailer, Kruger services, and Friedel's property deed. George Hirsch. We must have notes somewhere. There we go. Yes. Alright, Mcash admin, George Hirsch, CID, backdoored phone, Carl Hoffman, mission completion sting. Carl Hoffman. Is Carl Hoffman our dude then? That's this person. Ooh, where'd you go, Carl? Carl Hoffman. So it's either Carl Hoffman or George Hirsch is our. A bad person. Need to work out a few different people's involvement, or his involvement with one other compromised company. X key score ought to give us some kind of clues. I believe. Sereni1, hey, how you doing? Sorry, it took me a moment to reply. Josh, I don't know whether you were here earlier or not, but I'm trying to work out where we left off, really. Basically, George Hirsch or Carl Hoffman are our suspects. Who have we got here? Sophie Aken, Michelle Fiedler, Hookshot Games, German police reports. I mean, we don't actually have either of those people here, even though we have their identities, so that's a bit unfortunate. Oh, Josh, could you go over and watch this on Steam Broadcast and tell me that it's all working fine? That's something I would like to check out. See that there's no real buffering issues and that it's all working nicely. Hmm. Fortify that. Oh, maybe we just Carl. No, we don't have a Carl. George. Nope. Sure thing. I did have a bit of an echo, but it seems to be clear now. Oh, that's weird. I wonder what the echo was coming from. Right. I have to find some kind of overlap. Documents. I mean, it's tax receipt. Fiedler. Surely I can drop these kind of things. Surely these should give me some new entities in. Well, that's no good. It's gone off screen. I mean, I've got his ID. I surely should be able to make an entity of him. Delete it. Friedman. Want to close some of these as well. They've gone off screen.
X key score forensics initiated.
Carl Hoffman's our man. If there was a mission completed sting, so he must be the person we were trying to identify. So we need to work out Carl Hoffman's involvement in some other companies that are infected by this malware. What could that be? Oh. We can get into George Hirsch's phone. New cache.
Network disconnected.
Admin. Here's the Hookshot Games HR thing which gave me that ID card. So I need that. Be nice to be able to clear some windows because I don't know why this has gone off screen, but it's pretty annoying. Josh says seems good on Steam. Good, thanks very much. So Josh, do you remember much about when I was playing this before? Do you remember?
X key score
It's clearly Carl Hoffman's the dude. I want to be able to search for him in X key score. I can't think why I wouldn't be able to. Carl Hoffman. Vaguely, yeah, that's about where I'm at. We're going to work out what other companies Carl Hoffman is involved in that have been infected by. Okay.
Your mission objectives are infiltrate Hookshot Games and gain access to their HR database. Track down the mystery individual, Agent Patricia At this stage, the identity of this individual is still unclear. They could be Dr. Ripper or an associate. We still don't know the direct link between them, the compromised ERPs, and the botnet. Agent Patricia at this, thanks to your
Hookshot Games, Nullbyte, Novelty Publishing, Insurer Debt. So we need to find his involvement in one of those.
We've identified at least 4 compromised ERPs, all connected by someone in the last couple of months. At this stage, the identity of this individual.
Yeah. So compromised ERPs that Nullbyte. What's their involvement or connection to Nullbyte, Novelty Publishing, Insurer Debt? Okay, where's my notes?
All connected by someone in the last couple of months. At this stage, the identity of this individual is thanks to
I wish you could pause this as well.
Understanding of this complex network. The forensics team mapped out key assets from the intel you've gathered so far, and we've identified at least 4 compromised ERPs, all connected by someone in the last couple of months. At this stage, the identity of this individual is still unclear. They could be Dr. Ripper or Your quick work
Ensure
will have a
that.
much stronger understanding of this complex network. The forensics team mapped out key assets from the intel you've gathered so far, and we've identified at least 4 compromised ERPs, all connected by someone in the last couple of months. At this stage, the identity of
Okay.
this individual is still unclear. They could be
Let's just try and get into
we still don't know the direct link
each of those
between the compromised ERPs and the bot.
networks
Patricia
and
called
see. I think we're already in novelty publishing.
She tracked down the
Let's see if we can
network
find.
Hookshot Games and had Anna Gru trace his activities
Josh has said, "You mean to ask, have I seen Mr. Robot?" Yeah, I haven't watched the latest series though. I kind of was waiting for the whole thing to come out so I could binge it, and then I haven't gotten around to it until well, you know, the last episode was a few weeks back, wasn't it? End of December or something. So yeah, I've got work to do, got catching up to do. Right, Cyberdyne. These are the places we are already in. Dialodge, Hookshot, Insuredebt, Leon's Computer, Nite Team 4, Castle Ivy, Novelty Publishing. So, let's jump into one of those. Right, we needed 2 then. What do we need to do after that? WMI scanner?
Information gathering module initiated.
Right. Feel like we did this already. We have to find Carl Hoffman in some of these somehow. How are we going to work out? Josh, are you still watching the Steam broadcast? Can you let me know whether that is still going okay? Looks to me like it's maybe got some issues? Not certain. Right. think we might have a McFly. Hmm. Right, yeah, okay. Still seems good to you. Okay, well that's good. Yeah, for some reason I'm kind of glancing at it over my shoulder and it's all kind of jumpy. But as long as it's working for you, that's fine. McFly, are you there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Welcome.
Hey, it works.
How's your day been?
Yeah, very, very, very busy.
Well, that's
I
okay.
planned to be on the computer a bit earlier, but yeah.
That's absolutely fine. Busy with work or busy with more fun stuff than work?
All of the things.
All of the things.
I have been busy with things. I think we talked about the number plate thingy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but you
here.
can tell people a little bit about it on the stream if you're interested.
Yeah, and you're live already, I see. I'm jumping
yeah,
on
we are.
all of the things.
We're messing about with. Well, I'm trying to get my head around where we left this off. Oh my, leaving a story-based game halfway through a level in 2019 and picking it up in 2020 is a bit of a brain fuck. So I'm not doing very well. So I'm glad you're here. You can maybe help me jog my memory. But
oh yeah, right, that game.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think the people listening at home would probably be interested in hearing a bit about the license plate, number plate recognition stuff you've been doing.
Yes, I've been in I haven't been here for a bit, I remember. And in beginning of December, actually last year already, I played around a bit with number plate readers because they installed one of those things in the parking garage of my house, and I disliked that.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to prove to my house that this is a stupidly bad idea because this must be a horribly, horribly, horribly bad idea when you do that, because how can that be safe? And I couldn't find anything on the internet proving my point that this is unsafe.
Mm-hmm.
So I do what every reasonable person at that point does: give up, right? No. I made a video on YouTube using a fire extinguisher and some yellow cardboard and a pen to basically bypass the number plate readers at the entrance of garages.
Yep.
By literally doing that, painting a number plate, holding it in front of the camera, wielding the fire extinguisher over the magnetic coil in the ground, and therefore emulating a car. And and then the door opens. And I talked about that in the past, for example, on EMF Camp. But number plates seem to be a really bad idea, security or number plate readers,
Mm-hmm.
because you have you basically the camera is your computer input, and as an attacker, I can completely control the picture.
Mhm.
Like in an extreme case, I could put a tent over the camera and just kind of move it to Venice.
Yeah.
Or whatever you want, because like I've been running around in my garage, in front of my garage, which like you need to, that's in the middle of the city.
Yep.
You can see on the video how there's lots of people walking by.
Uh-huh.
And just like imagine standing in the middle of a city with a fire extinguisher and a yellow cardboard that looks like a number plate,
Yeah.
and wielding in front of a door, and nobody cares.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I did this for half an hour, and like people looked maybe 2 times, and that was kind of yeah, also very interesting to see.
It makes me think of, and I don't know whether you have this TV show or a remake of it where you are, but in the UK we have a TV show called The Hunted, which is, it's kind of silly. It's a reality TV show, but it's funny and interesting at points because it has a load of ex-security services people tracking a bunch of contestants who are trying to go unsurveilled and get out of the country, and they basically get given, I think they get given about 2 days notice when they get selected to prep for how they would disappear. And most of the time they, like the hunters who are set up in this kind of surveillance apparatus somewhere in the city, kind of, they have access to all of the cash machine cameras and whatever else. It's ANPR that they use the most to try and pick people up, because they figure, they basically see where people have spent money, because I think you get like 200 quid in a cash machine that you're allowed to try and get to get the cash, and then after that you're kind of done. And they work out, you know, who's paid who with this card, and whether they've tried to get in a cab or where they were last and which cars would be around. And I was just thinking, like, if you took the principles of your video and you were a fugitive or you were on the run, and they those hunting you down were basically dependent on an ANPR system, all you would need to do is draw up a load of cardboard license plates and stick them on a whole bunch of other cars and just end up with false positives all across the country.
Yeah, like I haven't tried things like putting, because I never break the law.
Yeah,
I,
of
for
course.
example, always do this. Yes, sure, right.
That's
Everything
a
else
bad
would be
idea.
stupid.
In case
Yes,
anyone
that is not a good idea. I think we have some people to talk to. Like, never break the law, or at least never get caught.
Yeah.
So I always use my own license plate. And possibly a thing that could be done is putting my own license plate on a different car, and
Yep.
then see if I get a parking ticket, therefore being able to prove that this whole thing creates a lot of false positives.
Yeah.
Like testing for speeds, like use a tempomat, drive 1 kilometer faster every 2 weeks through this camera system.
Yep.
So the letters have a chance to get to your house, that you know at which point you get charged with the cheapest possible ticket, and then you know what you have to put in your tempomat to test if your theory is working, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's a fascinating piece of research, and it seems like you've got, you know, plenty of other things that it can apply to, and yes, it's interesting stuff.
Yeah, you can break it down to the old question of user-generated input and sanitize your input, and do not trust your input.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. So I'll just post the link to the video to everyone in the various chats. So people in Twitch and on Periscope and YouTube can all catch up. They can find Fly's video on his piece of research there.
Yes, exactly. Look it later.
Yeah, watch it later on. See what you think. Try it at home.
Yes, try this at home. Like it's
on a security gate you own with a license plate you own.
Yes, it's reflective cardboard. You can just go to kind of any shop on the internet, or very often to like a home shop where you can make where you can craft your own present things. Like, how do you call that in English? Bastelladen in German.
craft your own, like just a craft store.
The
what
craft
you mean?
store, I would guess.
Yeah, we like have
Where you
hobby
buy-
stores, hobby craft
Yes.
stores.
I guess something like that.
hmm
They have reflective foil
Right.
and reflective things,
Yep.
and also it's also truck tarp. So everybody who does truck tarp has that too. Most likely even cheaper.
Cool.
But yeah, it's the whole thing of when you like developers have the tendency when their data sources are generated more or less automatically, that they completely trust the way how their data is generated.
Yeah.
The nice examples also of the barcode reader, where you just put cross-site scripting or SQL injections or something like that
Right.
into a barcode.
Right.
Because
Because why would anyone think to sanitize drop tables on a barcode?
yeah, it's because people do not assume that just because they're possibly the one they're using EAN or whatever the font is the same one that the readers can use. But anyway, we're drifting off the game.
No, it's all interesting stuff. I think this kind of discussion is the reason that people watch our stream and watch the videos back in the future. So that's it's more than a good tangent to be going through. To do a bit of the game, I guess I should try and bring you up to scratch to where I'm stuck and what I remember. Basically, there is a bunch of companies that had been infected by some kind of botnet malware, and we had worked out that it all kind of came back to an employee of a company called Hookshot Games. And in my notes, I've got Carl Hoffman mission completion sting, which means that I'm pretty sure Carl Hoffman is the person that we have pinned it on, or worked out that they are the inside actor. What would you call that? Insider threat, I suppose, at Hookshot Games. And we have to try and find evidence of this Carl Hoffman person operating at some of the other endpoints that we know are infected, which are called InsureDebt, Novelty Publishing, and Nullbyte. And so I was just looking at the Turbine C2 cards thing, which is, essentially it's meant to be your backdoor management. We've got Novelty Publishing, we've got access to them. We've got InsureDebt, we've got access to them, and we've got Hookshot. So I guess we could try and get access to Nullbyte, or we could try digging around in the three that we've got already. And this is where I'm coming up stuck, because I can't really even remember how we go about. Like, we can basically connect to our rootkit on any one of these given servers. So now we are essentially our remote address is now insuredebt.com, and so I believe we can use the WMI scanner to try and work out if there's any interesting paths or registries. But it's all a bit fuzzy for me. I don't know whether any of this is kind of coming back to you at all.
I remember that there was something scan, but that's pretty obvious by the picture we're seeing there.
Yeah.
Can you scroll up more?
Yeah, this is just basically this is this WMI scanner. I can basically put in, I think you run NetScan. Yeah, you run NetScan, and then that gives you these paths, and then you can run dig on those paths, and it gives you the service at the port and whether the version is up to date or vulnerable. So I guess we should just keep doing that, really. Like, keep doing the dig. I've basically done these two Well, actually, I probably need to go back to
Turbine C2 registry
who we were on before, which was novelty publishing,
Connection completed.
and then that should all work again. So both of those are up to date. We can try checking finances. So that would be Dig. That's up to date too. And it's this simple ERP service that is the one that has been apparently infected with the botnet on all of these different servers. So, and simple ERP is like a HR software of some kind.
But it's also up to date.
It is also up to date, yeah. You're saying that the delay is around about 15 seconds, so I'll need to go a little slow and when I'm describing stuff. Yeah, so that one's up to date. Let's try HR schedules.
Reception printers.
Yeah, and that'll be the
Also
last
not
one. That's up to date. Okay, so it is just the reception printers that's left to check, I think. Oh, dig, not dog. That's up to date as well. So there's nothing on those. I mean, we'll just run NetScan again and I'll... Basically, novelty publishing, NetScan, all up to date. Is the answer.
It looks fun though.
What does?
The interface.
Yeah, it's. I'm starting to get my head around it all. Oh, what happened there? Oh no, that's okay. There must be. That's weird. Some kind of limit to the amount of lines you can have in a notepad or something. That would be annoying. Yeah, that's weird. Right, novelty publishing is all up to date. So we can't gain access to any of those that way. Let's try. We had access to
Turbine C2 registry
Insurer debt,
initiated.
but not Nullbyte. So let's check out Insurer debt then. Let's see if they've got anything,
Connection completed.
any vulnerable services we can get into. So I feel like I've looked at this last time as well, but we're gonna run them all anyway.
While read I semicolon
What's that?
dig.
What's that?
I'll type it.
Oh, you want to run a search loop? Yeah. No, I don't think we can run loops. That would. That's another fault. I mean, this is a good thing to talk about, right? The whole point of doing hackers playing hacking games is to talk through some of the flaws of them all. And I mean, so often you're playing a terminal-based game, and yet you can't automate any of the commands. You know, they're all things you have to run.
Have you tried?
Well, I haven't tried on this one. We can try running that line.
Something like that, right? Well, read, and you need something like
Yeah, we need to set we need to set this
at
path
the end.
array somehow, don't we?
Yeah, no, you see the kind of the file or where we are getting it from. Maybe we can just try to make netscan, like pipe netscan in there. Does this work? That would be amazing if it does that. Most likely just gives an error message.
While command not found. So it didn't even get past while. Yeah. That's a shame. Yeah, so
Because if you have such a list, you would possibly just kind of try to script through that.
yeah. Well, that's weird. That one didn't even get us anything, did it? The last one, it just came out blank. 0 scans complete and 0 services found on ERP. Maybe the same with that? No, that one is there. Status active. Version up to date though. That's Oracle App Server.
I'm sorry.
You're about to say, well, that's definitely not going to be secure. That's something Pathfinder was a little bit peeved about.
We just don't know where it's not secure, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's also kind of funny, playing as, this global reaching security service that we are. We're only using known vulnerabilities with CVE numbers, which clearly isn't how any of those people operate, or at least isn't a limitation to how they operate anyway.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of what you would call what you used to possibly call script kiddies relied on stuff that was published and therefore just lazy administrators.
Mm-hmm.
And we can see with the current Microsoft shit that just happened with the elliptic curve crypto.
Yeah.
You could see how fast it goes. Like the exploit was published, and a day later, the vulnerability was published.
Yep.
And out of the publication, within a day, people on Twitter ended up with a proper working exploit.
Yep. Yeah, once the information is out
that's
there.
That's a bit weird. Like it used to be some weird underground hacker forum, and today's just Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I suppose because it had been disclosed so publicly, the
why
the
does
idea
the NSA,
of it needing to be why did the
NSA disclose an exploit that's to kind of fully utilize? You kind of need to be somebody like, let's say, the NSA, because to take the full effect out of that and to be able to do remote code execution with the exploit they published yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
The thing you would possibly need is that you would have to have access over the network, that you can redirect traffic that goes to the Microsoft update server and spoof your Microsoft signed update package or whatever you want in there. And then nobody can prove it, and that's just be like, okay. But maybe there's a very popular use program that comes out of Russia or China that has an update service. But in those countries, the secret services of those countries can just go to the company and say, hi. Or they can just organize themselves these certificates.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think to some degree it will be that they saw quite how wide open it was and they knew that they couldn't hold that one back, because they've already come under fire. That's why the red team, blue team side of NSA was merged together, right? Was because they kept coming under fire for the attacking arm, Tailored Access Operations et al., all developing exploits that essentially the right hand knew and the left hand had no idea. And this is just clearly one that they knew if anyone finds out that we've been sitting on a Windows crypto and key exploit that essentially allows any unsigned app to be run on the operating system that you have network access to, then, well, they would have gotten blown out of the water all over again, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I'm kind of more thinking that there's somebody who can also use that where this doesn't really help them, and or like they had that possibly for a while, but it got too public, or we'll have shadow brokers or something like that again soon.
Yeah. Yep.
So that they are afraid or have actually lost some exploits again, and suddenly they're public.
Yep. Yeah, it's certainly possible. I think, like you say, maybe they realised that they were more vulnerable to that line of attack than their adversaries are, and so there's no point in keeping that open. You know?
Well, to have the real good effect on that, you need to be able to control the network, and for the US, I think in most cases it was only them, or they're afraid they can't control the network anymore against an adversary of an enemy from like another big nation.
Yeah.
Who's the current thing they're shooting rockets at, and who's shooting back? Oh, wait.
Yeah. Are they big Windows users? That's your next question.
Yeah. There hasn't Putin been seen with a Windows XP computer?
I heard something like that, yeah. Yep. But I mean, well, I don't know. Who knows? I mean, they managed to wrestle Donald Trump's Galaxy Samsung S3 off of him eventually, didn't they? I can imagine that if Putin is running XP, then it's been hardened somehow by
not having a cable.
I don't know. I mean, surely the Russians have the time and the patience to entirely rewrite an operating system so that he has his own personal custom. Hardenized, the hardest XP known to man.
Yeah.
So right, it looks like we've come up with none of those in Insuredet being vulnerable either. So I think our next option is to try and find a way to get into Nullbyte, which means doing some vhost mapping stuff again, basically. So what was it? sfuzzer. There we go. Hang on. Can I do it? Yeah, I can do it to any main domain. So, we need to work out some credible domain for Nullbyte. Let's have a look. This is all Hookshot Games. Taxi Receipt. Novelty Publishing. Oh, I'm so out of memory on some of this stuff. So, well, we're trying to find some connection for this guy Carl Hoffman between other companies. I mean, this taxi receipt, surely that goes to well, I suppose going to the offices doesn't mean that he had any kind of access. Okay, let's pull up this X key score thing again.
Initiated.
So, Nullbyte is who we want to investigate. We've got tax database, German tax database, German police reports, German ER registry, German cab transport. I guess try the cab transport and traveling chatter and see what happens there, maybe.
Download all of them. No.
What's that?
Download all of them.
Just download every single cab's chatter.
I knew it. My computer makes me reboot.
Oh no.
No, no.
You're gonna disappear.
For real quick.
Yep. Well, I can try and keep searching on this stuff. No relations.
When and how I fly out. I'm back in a moment.
Yep, see you in a mo. Oh, we have something. Here we go. Zufsuf. This is some real hacker spook music, Zufsuf says. Try tax, yes. So, we now have a Nullbyte tax document, which we didn't have before. So that will give us some answers. We have Christian Buyer at Nullbyte, Nullbyte Industries, nullbyte.com. So we can try and get into these people. Add to case file. Right. I'm going to write that down. Christian. Yeah, Zufsuf, sorry for not saying hi. Didn't see you there. Thanks for joining us. I don't think we've found this person before by
Oh, hi.
Hello. We had a breakthrough while you were away.
Ah, nice.
We've got a tax document that gives us an email address and a domain for Nullbyte. Right. I think that's all we get out of that. I don't know whether the tax ID is useful. Sure, it would be. Well, let's just try sfuzzer now on this domain.
Module initiated.
I think 50 seconds tends to have to be the length of time that you run this stuff to get it going. Right, here we go.
It's always a bit weird with this delay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I guess I wonder whether on our call I could actually give you a screen share through that so that you can actually see slightly ahead of everyone else, because that would make it easier, wouldn't it? Let me try that.
Yeah.
Share screen. NT4. There you go. Can you see that in the call now? see how live this is. I'm gonna type is this live?
Yeah, if you could type yes. Question mark.
Question
Yes.
mark. Question mark.
And 2
question
and
mark.
3 and 4. That's a lot faster.
Cool. All right. We'll have that go. I mean, hopefully that doesn't eat up all my bandwidth, but I think we're still going to be fine. Josh, if you're in the broadcast, if you could just let me know that that's still going to be streaming fine and that you're following along, this could make it all a little bit easier for you, McFly. Right, we've got some domains, so that's good. nullbyte.com, services.nullbyte.com. Oops. Ah, that's weird. Okay, there we go. Right. I can't remember. There was this OSINT scan is the other tool in here, isn't it? OSINT scan is on. No, that's not on subdomains. Search any trace of a subdomain in Google. Okay, let's try that then. Jeez. Bing. I think I can't even remember what the search engine options were on here. We'll just assume that's right. Was it D500? Oh, S Google. Okay, yeah, that's not how it works. No, okay, won't let duplicate parameters go in. That's fair enough. Try that. There we go. So that was nothing then. Nothing on Google. That's all the same ones, isn't it? Yep. Okay. I think we'll just assume that that's a lot. Oh, we got Demon here. How are we? Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
There's 2 more people that I'm doing myself difficult to pronounce. Zuf and Serenity Youth. They're also since a while on the chat.
Serenity 1, I think, is
Serenity
that.
1. Yeah, I'm not used to this English pronunciation, right? Clearly can hear that I can't speak any English at all.
We've got Demon 2. So yeah, right. So I guess the next thing that we're doing, I can't remember very much about this. It's all like I wish you could easily clear. Is there help? No, there is not. Really? H? No. Right. Okay. I suppose if you close it and open it up again, it'll probably be fresh. Yeah, it is. Who is? Yeah, let's try that. Run. Oh, right, you can run help on a command. You just need to. Right, that's a little silly. Is there? Can you do dash man? No, there's no manual. Okay, who is nullbyte.com? Damon says they recognise McFly and they don't know where from. Well, you know some people who McFly knows. McFly, for reference, Demon is someone that we have a degree of connection to.
I see.
They know friends
We
of ours.
see him in an EMF.
Yeah, I don't think you've been to EMF, have you, Demon? That is the most likely place. And on that note, seeing as we're not sure whether you have been to EMF or not, you should come this year. EMF 2020. Come and hang out at Millerways. You would be more than welcome. So, that who is doesn't give us anything useful. So, fingerprint was the next thing. Start poking. Want it to go? I will see what I can do. Well, you know, Demon, I'm sure one of the people that you know, one of the good few people that you know in our circles would happily try and help you get there. I know that it's not always easy for you, but in fact, I'd probably be driving past you down there, so it'd certainly help you get there. And in terms of finding the money for tickets or whatever else, that's always something we can overcome. Various people get speaking passes and bits and pieces along those lines.
I think the process has already started.
Yeah, it has. I've got a voucher from having run a workshop last time.
Yeah, I have a voucher from my talk from last time.
Are you gonna submit anything this time around?
I hope I can something pull out of my fingers that doesn't sound too insane.
You hope you can pull something out of your fingers?
Yes, well, that's what I usually say for it every time I make a talk.
As in, you're going to sit at the keyboard and then let inspiration take form?
Basically a German phrase saying, and I hope I will find something that is good enough to pass the content committee from EMF.
Yep. Well, it's been Mustafa a couple of times, so I'm sure that if you get it the right thing in front of the right person.
No.
Demon, wait, is it in the UK? Yeah, it's in the UK. That's why we're saying that you should be able to come to it, and why that might be why you would know McFly, because McFly doesn't usually reside in the UK. But yeah, I know you have certain travelling restrictions, and that's why EMF would be fine. Right, jobs.nullbyte.com, no vulnerabilities there. Let's try support. Let's hope that support is vulnerable. It's like right on the border of Wales, isn't it? Is that right, McFly? It's in.
It's towards Wales. I think it was a bit northwest of Bristol, but
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure anymore.
Yeah, sounds about
Towards Wales there, yes.
Demon says, McFly HH, I'm sure I was following you on Twitter. There you go. That would be it then.
Yeah.
That's the very same.
Yep. That's me.
Right, we have a vulnerable SharePoint server. So we can dig into that on support.nullbyte. So
No SharePoint. was
Yeah.
nice. There's very likely a lot of stuff in there.
So exploit DB, we go and search SharePoint vulnerabilities. Dun, dun, dun. Search exploit. Directory brute force. Brute ye force.
That sounds good.
Like old ye English in your brute ye force. So, Demon, what have you been up to? I tried atting you on brute ye old files. I tried atting you on Discord, and you seem to have disappeared off of Discord again. Right, it's this SharePoint vulnerability, the CVE 2010-3964, unrestricted
sounds
file
like
upload.
That sounds like totally recent.
A
Let's see if it
2010.
works.
Well, if they're out of date, then they're out of date, right? It doesn't really matter if the exploit's old.
Yeah, it's a question if they're out of date by like 4 weeks or by 3 years. But let's try. It smells a bit like this, so it's a computer game, right?
It is.
It's like the one man standing in the room that has the kind of explanation mark over his head.
It's sort of weird.
You're gonna
orange
talk
glow.
to him. Yes.
I wonder why this guy has a weird orange glow. I must talk to him about why my wife has gone missing. Right, so... Oh, that's weird. Why is it gone highlighty? Right. Preferred, I've got to do a custom SOAP request to TCP on port 8082. Can't just highlight part of that, that's annoying. Alright. Paste this down here. And delete a load of it. Malformed request code execution vuln. Right. Okay. So Fox Acid is your vulnerability thing. Delivery is over TCP over IP. Exploit is SOAP request. Rootkit. I can never get my head around what these are supposed to be. Like After
Which
Midnight
ones?
is a VPN vulnerability, apparently. They don't really explain that part of this stuff very well. Like, what the assassin versus HVM mount versus After Midnight
Yeah,
is.
what does it do?
Yeah.
Where can I read the documentation to this exploit? Oh wait, it's a hacker tool, it is not documented.
Yeah, I mean, what is the code commenting culture like in exploit writing?
I guess that is from what I've seen, that varies quite a lot from people that have way more lines of documentation and comments than they have lines of code, to people where you just do not have a single command.
Uh-huh.
But that is basically the same with every code. Like maybe not that too extreme to have 0 comments at all, but if you've worked in a company, you've run into the point that there is people that kind of write books next to their code, and there's people that basically just like read the code.
Yeah, it's self-documenting.
Yes. If you do not understand the Perl that I wrote 5 years ago, I can't help you, because I can know that.
Yeah. Right, so we're support.nullbyte that we're doing it on SharePoint 2007 88. Oh, this is nice. This must be an update to the game that's happened, because it's just filled a load of stuff in for me that you always used to have to fill in yourself.
Fox acid attack launched.
So, Demon says, I'm working a lot now and my Discords get banned. Pretty sure Discord are big meanies to me. Lamal. Well, it depends on what you're doing to get banned, really, Demon. Doesn't it? Demon. WikiLeaks reveals after midnight an assassin CIA Windows malware frameworks. So would assume HMV mount is for Linux. HVM mount. And it's the others, not me. It's the people you hang around with on Discord leading you astray. Well, then just come just make a profile that you only hang out in the Semeopus off-grid Discord in, because I missed you the other day. Someone came in asking about some stuff that I thought you would be an interesting person to point them in the direction of. Someone came into the Discord asking about reverse engineering games for cheats, and I remembered you'd done some legit hooks discovery, and kind of were messing about with some sort of things that they would probably have been able to poke you for some interesting stories on. So we've got Nullbyte. We're into Nullbyte now.
Connection completed.
Right. So now that we're into Nullbyte, we've got to work out whether there's any WMI scanner.
Module initiated.
Was it NetScan? Do. Demon says they're in now. Good. Age Demon. Yeah. Demon is back. Sorry, I'm typing in Discord on a live stream, aren't I? That's not really the funnest thing for people to watch. Well, not even watch, just hear. You just get to listen to me type. Just a sec.
I also don't have your picture anymore now.
Oh, really?
Kind of fun.
My
yes,
picture's
because
gone.
I'm watching you on the...
Oh, yeah, on the call.
Yeah.
So you don't even get to see my facial reactions to typing. Everyone else does. There we go, Demon. I've just pinged you to the person who was in asking about modding stuff along those lines. And now I'll get back to the game. Let me just check something. I guess we
now
could...
we're really watching you doing social media connections and stuff like that. Let's get further with this game.
Well, no one else gets to watch this. We'll watch that part. So, right, we need to dig. We've done our net scan. We need to dig some of these. That'll take a moment, and I'll find you your answer, McFly. Stats up to date. Okay. Bum bum bum. So, Demon. That's quite nice. I didn't realise I was gonna be able to say your name with such ponderance there. You say you're working a lot, which is awesome because you were having some trouble picking up decent jobs before. So, are you working somewhere that's fun? Yeah, company picked you up. That's nice. Josh says, I just got impeached for making a perfect phone call. Why have you said that? That's a Donald Trump reference, clearly. Right, Rich, have you ever played around with Hack the Box? Yeah, Hack the Box is interesting. I've had a prod at it. There's definitely some interesting challenges on it. Damon would be able to say a bit more than me. And Damon's saying, company picked me up. It's okay. It's a startup. Well, that's good. Congratulations. Startups can be fun places to work as long as they are, sensible and pay people properly and don't overwork them on the basis that you have to be passionate to work in a startup or some other bollocks like that.
Yes, also pay attention for liver poisoning.
Liver poisoning? Just because startups drink too much?
When I worked at startups, I drank noticeable more than when I worked in non-startup companies.
That's because they're being trendy and hip and beer in the office.
And I have a tap in the office.
Yeah. Oh, we don't have any vulnerable stuff, do we?
Keep scanning.
Keep scanning one by one.
WordPress is up to date. When WordPress was no, that wasn't WordPress.
Was it? Yeah, it was. WordPress is up to date apparently. Liars.
They even update the WordPress.
WordPress and their printer. WordPress, their printer. Their .NET implementation and their Oracle App Server are all up to date. So we're not going to get any further with that then. Whoop whoop, reform demon, good guy, white hat. Yeah, how does it feel to be switching hats? Do you feel like a sense of warmth and pride, or do you feel all icky for having stepped over the fence into the light?
Well, you're only stepping over there for 8 hours a day, right?
That's nice. Yeah, exactly. Feels bad, man, that pays the bills. I've been neutered. Like McFly says, it's only 8 hours a day that you have to be a good boy, and then the rest of the time is all yours. Demon says, Serenity One says, yeah, intrigue me, Hack the Box, although I'd have no idea where to start. Well, Josh, that's actually pretty straightforward picking up. You know, you're just running virtual machines and downloading ISOs. So, your first step is run something like VirtualBox that you can spin up virtual machines in. And then from there, it's kind of pretty straightforward in terms of just loading some ISOs and starting to poke at stuff. Demon says, Hack the Box is kind of cool, but I prefer things like VulnHub. I have to do both right now as I'm training for my OSCP for the 3rd time. Cool. Well, good luck. That's McFly, what have you taken in terms of certs along those lines, and what have you found valuable? Have you come into contact
I
with
value
OSCP?
the OSCP. I don't have it, but besides that, I don't value them a lot.
Yeah.
Kind of my certification was sillily my DEFCON talk, which was totally not worth it. But in practice, turns out to be the thing that gets you the job.
Yeah.
In the post view, and then just the industry experience.
Yep.
OSCP is one that's hard because, like I say, OSCP is the one that's hard because I know that people that have failed OSCP.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a lot of people that have failed CISSP, for example.
Yep.
And in some security company, even the salespeople make the CISSP.
Yep.
So I'm valuing that not so high than I would value that in OSCP. But for an OSCP, you actually have to open boxes, even though they're training boxes. So that's definitely a good one.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So I'd be interested, Demon. You're saying you're doing it for the 3rd time. What were the things you slipped up on the first 2 times you took it? I think we're going to have to try a social engineering toolkit attack on someone at Nullbyte, because we're not getting anywhere with vulnerabilities on any of these local services.
I wonder also if we pay enough attention to the game, but that's just kind of the side note.
What's that?
Nothing.
You said we're not paying enough attention to the game. No one said that.
Precisely, right.
What Steven says, we have really cool office though. We're at Bletchley Park. Nice. My only cert is a Computer Misuse Act. Yes, I like that. Can't talk about it in detail, but Privesk on Windows. Okay. Mm-hmm. Matty78 or Matty H or Matter78. What's your current objective in the game? Our current objective is to try and pin Carl Hoffman, this fella, Carl Hoffman, as having had some that he works for Hookshot Games, and he should have some involvement somehow with InsureDebt, Novelty Publishing, or Nullbyte, but we haven't been able to work anything out. So I've got C2 turbines in InsureDebt and Novelty Publishing, but not Nullbyte. And so I was just trying to get back into Nullbyte, or get into Nullbyte, and see whether that would get us any further. But yeah, Matty H, Matter78. If you've got any ideas, and if you can help me pronounce your screen name properly, then please do help us out, because I am kind of just going through the motions at the minute. So one, build email database. Let's try an email crawler on the domain. I've done that wrong. Okay. Well, that's odd. I'll just manual entry. Let's just try. What? Well, that's
Email
not
address of the target.
Have you not hacked George Hirsch's phone yet? Yeah, no, I have. I've got George Hirsch's phone. But I must have missed something there then. Yeah, the email of the target's not working for some reason, so obviously social engineering attack is not going to work on anyone on that null byte domain. So George Hirsch's phone is here. Can't remember. That used to let me click through to it. Join the lobby. What's going on there?
Turbine C2 registry.
Do I need to be someone other than nullbyte in order to do it? Back to hookshot.
Completed.
I swear you used to be able to click on George Hirsch's phone. Well, let's. Where was it?
Network intrusion module initiated.
Can't remember his details for his phone. I need the MAC address for it. The vendor. That's the MAC address. It's a button to the right, okay. Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. I was just blocking it. Right, yeah, so, I mean, on his contacts, on George Hirsch's contacts, we just have all of these people from Hookshot Games. On his notes, we had the stuff about him needing to change the DNS for the Mcache server and got access to the Mcache server, which, if I remember rightly, that was the thing that had everyone's ID cards on it. Talk to Matthias. Should I talk to my score a key for the new Rise of Gothic sequel? That's something about a game. Default Mcache pass. Calls Matthias Summer, Maximilian Friedman. Is it Mate or Matty H78? You'll have to tell me. See that you have the data you need. Hint IP. Right. Well, I mean,
DNS reminder.
I don't think there is anything with an IP address in any of these.
DNS
messages.
is with Dynet. Then look in DNS again.
Yeah, it just says reminder
Remember
to
to set up the DNS for MMCache server. I don't have to type in the IP every time I want to access that.
Yeah, but
So is there a DNS entry for something like Memcache?
well, there's this. Oh, good. Yeah, good question. But I mean, well, the IP is in my notes already. Yeah, it's what it's saying. Well, this, yeah, okay. I can't remember at all. What, as in, so I can use the file browser? Yeah, there you go. And that was the Mcache admin, right? Yeah. Yeah, I got into this, and this is the HR thing. It has all the ID cards in. It's like the temp. Cole Hoffman is a temp worker. This is the way. This is the way to pronounce your name, or this is the way to play the game. But I mean, so this is where I'm stuck though. So I've got access to all these ID cards. I've got no clue what I'm supposed to do with them.
We have a printer, right? Can we print them?
That's good. Yeah, I mean, well, there's a whole load of printers on various networks, but I don't know whether we're in any of the buildings that the printers are connected by.
Might be weird if like there is ID cards coming out of all of those printers.
Have I found him in all companies? No, I haven't found him in all companies. I've only found him in Hookshot Games. Oh, right. Are you saying I can... You're saying I can check Mcache in... from other companies? As in if I switch the turbine over to Nullbyte.
Connection completed.
And then run that again. Or have I completely misunderstood that?
That might be unlikely, but maybe there is...
That's... There you go. Yeah. Oh, apparently you can. Right, yeah, so... Cool. I don't know. I don't really understand what Mcache is then, but it apparently is a service that runs on all of these different companies' local networks. So
under the same IP address with the same folder structure.
Apparently. There's Christian Bayer. It's an external service, apparently. It's like an external sort of staff management service, then, I suppose.
No, it runs a new IP network, but never mind. That could be. Carl Hoffman, there he is again.
There he is. Boom. Nice. So that's that objective.
Even the ID cards look
Thanks,
surprisingly-
Matty. Surprisingly similar ID cards. Yep.
So is there the tool
Right.
Photoshop on there? Because can we now extrapolate to other ID cards?
Sorry, is there a Photoshop tool so that instead of trying to find them, we can just paste his photo onto all of them?
I mean, if they all look the same, like, it would be an obvious point, right?
Right. Thanks, Matty. Or Mate. You'll have to tell me. Like, you'll have
It's
print it in
2020.
phonetics. Go on.
It's 2020 when you want to find holograms that are on those things, and you just want to look at your laptop at the, or buy them off the internet and get a good ID.
So research intel on the individual. I'm hoping that means that we now have
Initiated.
an X key score. No, we still don't have an X key score entity for Carl Hoffman. Okay, well should we just find his ID card in every single every single network and see where we go from there. So we've done what we were just on null byte. We can do insure debt and we can do novelty publishing.
Connection completed.
There we go. Novelty publishing, HR, ID cards, temps. Oh, inside man. There you go. See that ID card's entirely different, McFly. It's got a different font and everything.
Oh yeah, sorry.
What is unfortunate is the fact that I've managed to let all of my windows cascade off screen and I can't move anything. So just clear everything down for a moment. That one's off screen as well. I wonder whether you can just clear a window.
Turbine C2 registry initiated.
Right. Let's try that again. Make sure to look more closely. Many details in this game. I've heard that. I have definitely been criticised previously for not looking closely enough at anything. I never know whether to look really closely at the files, like the ID cards and things like that, or not. Though it's kind of tricky like that. But then I suppose that's life, isn't it? You have to pay attention, even when it doesn't seem like you need to. Right, there we go. Oh, well, apparently I don't even need to add that one. So that starting date was September 24th, 2018. See you later, Serenity1. Thanks for swinging by. Serenity1 says, heading off, guys. Have a good one all.
See you.
Right. So let's do the last one as well. Which was insure debt.
Connection completed.
There we go. Oops. Oh, they didn't have any temporary employees. There you go. So this person wasn't at Insuradebt. So does that mean that Insuradebt is his next target, maybe? Oh, no. That's already been infected. He must have had access some other way. Research any intel on the individual that may help us. September 24th too. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I guess we've got his email address here. Maybe that's carlhoffman-it.de. So maybe we can try phishing him. Should we do that?
Yes, fish all of his accounts. Like,
Yeah.
we found them like 6 times now.
Carl Hoffman IT. There is more to the cards than you see. The view is cropped. Cool. Well, that sounds like I'm doing the right thing. Well, let's check the other cards then. That's Novelty Publishing already. Well, that's George Hirsch. So how likely do you think someone who is an IT specialist who has infiltrated multiple businesses as an insider threat and then used them to create a botnet, how susceptible do you think they are to a template social engineering toolkit email? Probably
Well,
unlikely,
we'll find
right?
out probably.
We will find out. Right, build email database. We're going to just do manual entry. No, we don't need to enter another email address. There we go. Create file format. So, we got to think about how vain Carl Hoffman might be. Oh, right, okay. I'd forgotten, yeah, you have to choose the vulnerability, the payload before you work out what the context of the email is. Is he more likely to open a Word file, Flash player, a PDF, or a custom DLL that's zipped?
A Word file or a PDF.
Yeah, I think PDF is probably... Oops, not 33. 3. Right, create the payload. Oh yeah, I'd forgotten that there's this estimated efficiency. We're at 3% currently. Right, reverse.
Yeah, the others
shell
are how many
VPN.
percent?
I don't know, like, well, we're at
You
28%.
could say 3 is more than 0, so yay!
We're at 28% now. I think we're a bit low. Right, IT support, business request for proposal, consumer inquiry, class action lawsuit, CV application. I guess maybe a request for payment or a request for proposal or whatever that is. Email subject. Please work. Greencomp.com. Yes. Right, 52% chance of working. That's pretty low.
That's more than half.
I think most of the time it doesn't work unless you've got like 70% or more. I can't remember exactly. Let's see. Have they opened the file? He opened the file. He's infected. We got him.
That was fast.
Yeah.
Like social engineering attacks usually takes days.
Well, that wouldn't be a very fun game, would it? I mean, well, the internet is a CTF, is what Pathfinder would say. It'd say if you want to play that game, then play that game. Right. So, where is he? Carl, work PC. Let's jump into Carl's PC. Okay, so, what do we know about you, Carl? So, I guess WMI scanner, net scan on his machine? Okay, then.
Well, that looks like it's also a home directory. Oh no, it's a C drive. That's interesting. No dogs.
The C drive is up to date. We'll try and work out some credentials for him somehow then. I mean, well, we know his username is Hoffman, so I know we can try and use Hydra on this. Where is that at?
Information gathering module initiated.
Oh no, it seems like, well, then we want to use a different password cracking tool. Password attack, maybe?
Password attack and intrusion module initiated.
There we go. Username, I assume is. Oh, I always get this wrong. I can never. This is a pain. I assume his username is Hoffman. Oh, ready? Yeah. Okay.
Target acquired. Awaiting variables to launch attack.
There we go. Right, and then we can set up our password databases. John the Ripper was pretty quick, wasn't it? Yeah, here we go. Good old John.
Attack launched. Password
Chaos
successfully
reigns.
compromised.
I'm not sure I really want to be breaking into an anarchist's computer. It's the first nice guy we've found on this whole game.
Well, at least we know our credentials.
Yeah, but this is our kinfolk. This is someone doing a demon. He's working a day job, being a good boy by day. Well, he's not all 8 hours apparently. Apparently on his lunch breaks, he's busy infecting various of his employers' networks. Right. So, I think. There we go. Hoffman. Chaos reigns. We're in. Documents. Clients. Archive. Rainforest report. Novelty report. We can't read any of those, unfortunately. Upcoming clients. Armachem. Concord Mining HQ. IRYS. Stone Village. Okay, important files. That's this. Human Solutions Contract.doc.
So this guy, Carl Hoffman, he works for Human Solutions Consulting, which provided consulting services for all 4 companies that got the
Here we go.
compromised. I doubt that's a fluke.
There we go. We've got evidence that he works for a consulting company that had contracts with all 4 of the compromised victims. So we're done. Add that to the case file. Add that to your case file and smoke it, as they say. Does that mean... That means we completed this mission, I think.
So this guy.
Oh, no, that's done. Yep. So... Back to mission center. Mission complete. We've got 250 more rep with the CIA. Right, mission complete there. Well, so McFly, I was having some fun looking at the mission making tools, which I think you, me, and Path will have some fun with at some point. Are you there?
Yes, I'm there. When I pressed my unmute button, I'm talking the whole time. Like, why is like he not? Oh wait, shit.
Have you been talking for the last sort of 4 minutes or something? Because I was like,
Well, no,
it's gone
at
kinda
least the
quiet.
last 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, there's this. It's quite cool. There's this whole deal with basically being able to make your own missions, and there's all these community missions. So I was thinking at some point we could probably make some funny ones. We have to think up a funny mission with some funny servers that we are happy to pretend to infiltrate as a secret service. Secret service as some form of intelligence folks. So we don't really. I mean, it's kind of a case of trying to think through something hilarious in some way, shape, or form. But the problem is, it's are we going to infiltrate the networks of people we know, or are we going to infiltrate the networks of corporations we think should be hit? That's what we have to come up with
For the game.
Yeah,
I
for
think
designing
that
our
would be
own.
an easy choice for the paucity of people that you have on there, right?
What's that?
Well, that would be an easy choice for the paucity of people that you have there, right? Because, like, in the game, you have a lot of people getting kind of famous for being hacktivists. So
Yep.
it would be weird if hacktivists would be hacking other friends and not the industry and the services and the defense, the military industrial complex and all of those.
That's true, yeah. I mean, that makes a lot more
Right.
sense. The problem is the premise of the game is set up from the other side of the fence to the one that we, our friends, all sympathize with. So I suppose
in this game or in Off-Grid?
in this game,
Yeah. So
because there's
sorry.
a
I
set
was
of modding
thinking
tools.
a bit more about the monitor editor, the mission editor. I
Oh
was
no,
thinking of Off-Grid there.
That's much easier to do from our side of the fence.
Yeah.
But yeah, making a mission in this, where you have to play as the security services, I guess we could do the security services. That would be kind of a fun mod, actually. Would be make a mod for Nite Team 4, or not a mod, a mission editor level, that maybe looked at some of the Panama Papers stuff, because the intelligence services, I'm sure, have been digging into that. And there's probably a lot of interesting information out there that's still currently unfurling on it. So maybe we could do
I mean,
that.
from the standpoint of the services, there is possibly a lot of people in the Panama Papers who kind of have dirty laundry. That for keeping that laundry safe and secure would really do certain things that normally they possibly they wouldn't do normally, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like as services work very often with bribery and stuff like that, Panama Papers contains a lot of stuff that is actually most likely very good for that.
Yep. So I guess
But you know what? It's 23:30 for me,
it is.
and I think being at the point of mission complete is a good point
time
to take a break there.
Yep, I agree. I think that is a good idea. Well, let me just show you the screen of the mission editor so that you just see it quickly, so that we don't start a new mission, like you say.
Yeah, no. It's like in this game, like let's not start a new mission and then come back again in 2 weeks and wonder where we left off when we left last time.
Yeah. I want to find a browser quickly. Clean one. It's better. Just a second, nearly there. Right. There we go. So, can you see this? Oh, no, you're not going to be able to, because you're on the call. I need to switch the call screen around for you to see that, don't I?
I do see very different screens, that's true.
Give me a second.
Not that window.
No. That's the one that I need to change. There we go. I think that should mean that you can see that now. Yep.
Hive mind mapping. Agent Richard Gill.
Yep, that's the one. So, yeah, basically this thing here is like the way the level editor thing works. So I think I had started on this. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I started to mess around. So this is like well, just me trying to work out what to make. It kind of didn't really get anywhere with it. I was thinking about, well, I really do need to just start from scratch. But basically, you can start to set up the domains and the subnets and what endpoints they have and what ports are vulnerable, what services,
what vulnerabilities there seem to be.
Yeah.
There, I see CVE there, and that usually refers to vulnerabilities.
Yep. And then, you know, what elements you need in order to get the Fox acid, which is the kind of, well, Fox Acid is basically meant to be Cobalt Blue as far as Cobalt Strike, I mean, the tool. So yeah, I don't think we're going to dig around in this too much right now, but
Automated mind mapping, that's what it looks like.
yeah, it's kind of basically everything that we've gone through there on the kind of playthrough of the game. You can map out in this kind of diagram to build your own flowchart of gameplay.
I think that this is supposed to edit the editor.
This is the editor. Yeah. This is how we make
for
our
me
own
like
missions.
a mind map.
Well, it kind of is. It's kind of a mind map for. It's kind of a mind map for your kind of missions. I haven't really worked out the objective side of it, but it's certainly a mind map for your kind of servers that you're going to send players through, and then I guess you can drop at different endpoints different data that's going to open up how they navigate through different networks and spaces. It's going to take some digging around in. What I'm going to do is have a bit of a think about what we can maybe do. But like I reckon we could probably come up with some real Panama Papers servers that were compromised, you know, WordPress vulnerable blogs from Mossack Fonseca, etc., and drop those in as something that could be explored. So yeah, but we'll leave that for next time. And in the meantime, I think we'll probably call that a night. Like McFly said, we managed to complete that mission.
Yes, that's always a good point to stop.
It is, certainly. So yeah, thanks very much all for coming along for the ride, joining in on the chat, and for helping guide us through, especially Matty H or Mate, for helping get our heads around exactly where we needed to look a little closer. We'll have to bear that in mind for future reference, McFly, that, you know, various documents.
Listen to the guys on the stream that write comments on the stream.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Cool. All right. Well,
sometimes the developers get that annoyed that they join your stream and like, God damn it, get your shit straight.
That has happened also. Yep. Nice.
Cool. Well,
Okay.
once again, thanks again, McFly. Thanks for coming on with us and chatting and talking all kinds of bits and bobs.
Yeah.
It was
See you again next time.
It was good fun. Yeah.